Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and also follow us on Facebook, BWTM Online. Follow us on Instagram, BWTM Online. And of course, follow us on Twitter, Bayloric World TV. Thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate you. So the story is about, well, Kubrat Pulev. Now, this is what we're discussing tonight on BWTM. Kubrat Pulev, the Bulgarian heavyweight, who felt it necessary to kiss this reporter, sports reporter, on the lips shortly after his post-fight interview. After his fight, he felt it was appropriate to kiss this lady, this reporter. She looked completely stunned by it, and he now defends himself, saying, well, there's nothing to it. Well, so basically, they're doing the interview, and at the end, as the interview concludes, Kubrat Pulev grabs this woman's face and lands his lips on this woman's face. Okay? And she's obviously visibly shocked by it all. He says they're friends. And I'm puzzled. I have to say, well, hold on a second. All the stuff that's going around currently in society, women, lots of women's movements, women coming forward and reporting of all the allegations that have been made towards men who have harassed them previously. It's all coming out. And we've seen various people, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. There's lots of them that are out there, and they are now being pulled up and being brought up, and no longer are their actions being acceptable. So why Kubrat Pulev would do such a thing, to kiss a woman, a sports reporter, at the end of an interview, the way he did, was beyond me. I don't know what rock that Kubrat Pulev has come out from. Now, in his defense, Kubrat Pulev's defense, this is what he says. Let me get at what Kubrat Pulev says. Kubrat Pulev says, and this article is from bynews.com.au. Okay, well, it's actually come out from the New York Post, and this is what, according to Kubrat Pulev, says that the pair are good friends. It says here, Pulev felt forced to take to social media to defend the kiss he gave to Sushi post-interview as blood dripped from a cut above his left eye. You may have seen a clip of me kissing a female reporter after I won my fight on Saturday night, he wrote. The reporter, Jenny, is actually a friend of mine, and after the interview, I gave her a kiss. Later that night, she joined me and my other friends at the post-fight celebration. After our kiss, we both laughed about it and thanked each other. There really is nothing more to this. So this is what he's put out on social media. So that's what Kubrat Pulev's put out. But unfortunately for Kubrat Pulev, there is a different situation that's gone out. As far as the female reporter, Jenny Sushi, has had to say, what she's had to say is, oh wait, it doesn't say it's Jennifer, let me get the name right, Ravallo, takes legal action after being forcibly kissed by Kubrat Pulev. So now, even further, according to this story now, that the heavyweight boxer grabbed her buttocks with both of his hands. So check this out. It says Jennifer Ravallo, who works for Vegas Sports Daily, and this is from Sky Sports Now News, has said that the Bulgarian had no right to kiss her at the end of the post-match interview live on air. She also claimed in a news conference on Thursday that Pulev grabbed her buttocks and squeezed them both with both of his hands later that evening. Miss Ravallo also said that Pulev acted like nothing happened after the after party that night, and she asked her to remove the kiss from the interview. He asked to remove the kiss from the interview. She said, "I did not remove it, and instead I posted it because I wanted people to see what he had done to me." So Pulev grabbed Miss Ravallo's face and kissed her after his knockout win over Bogdano Dinu on Saturday, the 23rd of March. The 37-year-old boxer was widely criticised on social media for the kiss, as the reporter said she found the incident embarrassing and strange. Well, so there's definitely a difference of interpretation. Kubrat Pulev says they were friends. Jennifer says quite opposite. Kubrat Pulev says at the end, well, we're friends, and we laughed about it at the end at the post-fight party. We were there, we giggled, we laughed about it, and then I'm asking her to remove the interview. So, bottom line is this: in this day and age, with so much is going on, women are coming out speaking out about such situations. First of all, I want to know what gave Kubrat Pulev the, if you want to call it audacity, or gave him there must have been something that encouraged Kubrat Pulev to just, his behavior was almost caveman-like. I'm surprised he didn't try and grab her and pull her into his cave from somewhere. I mean, his behavior seemed very odd. I mean, I don't know what rock Kubrat Pulev may have come out of, because to me, with all that's going on in the world at the moment, why would you put yourself in such a predicament? So I don't know. She was on his after party, stayed till 5 a.m. Well, okay, that may be the case, but does that mean because she was at an after party that she should still be violated in such a fashion? Yeah, I can't understand, for me, the life of me. You see, but let's track this back a bit, ladies and gentlemen. If that was Kubrat Pulev's daughter, let's check this out. If that was Kubrat Pulev's daughter, okay? Kubrat Pulev's a retired boxer, yeah? Now let's imagine he's retired. And it's his daughter, Andrea Pulev, just an example, Andrea Pulev doing an interview. And let's say it's, I don't know, up-and-coming boxer, maybe Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury or just somebody who's well known, and kisses his daughter on the lips, and earlier during the week had squeezed her buttocks. How would Kubrat Pulev respond to that as a father? There's that point as well. Now, she said that she didn't lead him on. She said that, I think in the interview I saw on Instagram, she didn't leave it on. She felt that very uncomfortable. There was nothing she did that led him on to feeling that way. But even so, even if he felt that she led him on and all the rest of it, to actually kiss her in public like that, I mean, did he think that she was going to, I mean, why do it? Just because she's there as a fan or a supporter, that doesn't give you the right to go and kiss a woman like that. I mean, isn't Kubrat Pulev a married man, or is he in a relationship? I'm sure he's a married man. I could be wrong there. But this Kubrat Pulev has opened a can of worms here in another sense, because what's going to happen here with Kubrat Pulev is that there'll be some sort of court case with this, because this has gone now to this lady, Gloria Alfred, who's a very powerful attorney, in America. It's gone there now, and it's in her hands. And I'm sure they're gonna go for Kubrat Pulev and make an example of him. And there'll probably be something like the Pulev Act or the Sushi Act or some sort of act which will come out after this about the conduct of sports athletes and presenters and interviewers. But it's an unspoken like code of conduct. You don't go kissing. You just don't do it. I've seen people do it before, and like people kiss certain people and stuff. But this, in this day and age, yeah, you took the thing about the Pulev Act. That's going to be happening. You can see it happening. That Kubrat Pulev is going to be part of history for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Getting famously knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko, and now infamously kissing this woman. So I don't know, but for him to have felt so brazen to have kissed her like that, it means one of two things. There's more to this story than meets the eye, and or Kubrat Pulev has been doing this for the longest while, and only now it's coming out. I mean, we don't need to go down the lines of people like Jimmy Savile, who openly was fondling a woman on British television. I think it was Top of the Pops, where he was fondling the woman to complete, absolutely dreadful. There's so many incidents where these things have happened, but this one here now, in the height of what's going on now, it was unacceptable then. It's unacceptable now, and it would be unacceptable the other way around as well if a woman jumped on a man. People say, "Oh yeah, that's great," but it's not great. So they are not going to court. Just made a complaint to the California State Commission, so it won't be that bad. Well, she's gone for attorney, Gloria Alfred. So Gloria Alfred is an actual, she's an attorney. So this is gonna get out. This is gonna get out. I don't believe this will stop here. American, female. Currently, what's going on in America? Me Too movement and stuff. This video's gone viral. No, this there's no way. There's no way, and not there's no solicitor or attorney is going to let that fly like that. No way. So it's not cool. It's not funny. The good thing about this is, though, because if you look at that video and it was left just there, you would have thought, yeah, Pulev and Hale got something going, or she loved that, she enjoyed that. Some guys would think that. The fact that she's actively put a complaint in, and this thing about her to being there till 5 in the morning, maybe it would be an uncomfortable situation for her to have left. Maybe she's trying to keep the peace and keep things sweet until she got out of the building. I don't know. I just don't know enough about the story. I don't know what her relationship was Kubrat Pulev like off the camera. I don't know if other things were going on beforehand, and so now Pulev's did something on the camera. He's given her a kiss. He may have kissed her before. They may have had some other sort of relationship, and it didn't look good for her image. So I don't know. I don't know enough. We could jump down Pulev's throat and say, "Hey, you shouldn't have done that." Well, you shouldn't have done that. But until I know the full ins and outs, I don't know. Well, they should have gone straight to the criminal court. But today at the presser, they said they just complained to the Sports Commission. They will not make money out of this. Well, okay. But then what will happen here is that all these women's movements will say, you've just been molested Your personal space has been violated on camera. It's gone viral. And you've done nothing about it. You're not taking the matter further. You're not going to take the matter further. Then why bring it up in the first place? You know, it was like, and it's a little different. It was like the whole Eddie Chambers thing, when Eddie Chambers brought up that thing about, and he showed everyone the thing about him and Joshua saying about the superior race and all that. And I asked Eddie Chambers, like, less than hours after the story broke, I had him live on the show and said, well, okay, well, Eddie, do you want to fight Anthony Joshua? Well, there's your opportunity to fight him. If you feel that bad about the situation, you can have a straight in the ring. I'm not sure. So, you know, what are you doing it for? So this woman now has allowed the video to go out there. Down, she knew it was going to go viral. All right. So she wanted people to know what Kubrat Pulev has done. For what point? Just to say, oh, he kissed me, and I'm just going to put a complaint about it. Surely, he's violated her on tape. He's basically molested her on tape, while her being a professional. That's what people see, or have seen. So, I don't know. Thing is, yeah, if Mike Tyson had done that, oh Lord. If Joshua had done that, oh my good Lord. See? So, it doesn't matter who's done it. The fact of the matter is, it's been done. You could say, if Jimmy Savile did it, you'd get away with it. And that's exactly what he did. So, it's not good. It's not good at all. And like I said, I think she did intend to make a complaint. She did it because the boss in that sports agency told her to do it. They said they are starting investigation, and only then she deleted the pics with him. With him. So, why Pulev would have put himself in a position like that in the first place, I don't know. But what I do know is that there's evidence. He can't deny it. Again, either Pulev felt encouraged to do what he did to the point where it was like, yeah, anything goes. We've done this and that, we've done this, I'm just going to give her a kiss at an interview, so what? I mean, you've done everything else. So he didn't see anything to it. Or he really has got no concept of personal space and boundaries, and I just don't know which one it is. I really don't. But from the first look of everything, she looks horrified. Horrified. I don't know. But she had personal pics of on her Instagram the day before where she had her hand on his abs, pretty close to his dick actually. So there we go. Now, this is my point. But even if there's a photograph like that, we can read into it. Does that still mean Pulev fighting AJ in December? Well, you wouldn't put it past it, would you? And then, like, AJ being the good guy and Pulev being the villain from Bulgaria who molested a woman. Yeah. It didn't sell then. No, damn well sell now. You laugh, but it's true. That sort of, You always got to have some sort of script in it. I told you, boxing is becoming more and more like WWE all the time. It's becoming more and more like WWE. People laughed at me when I said it. It's becoming more and more like WWE. People, everyone's got a grudge with them. Why can't we just learn to get on? You look at that Liverpool card that's going on this weekend, the Matchroom. I saw David Price on it. I'm sorry, I'm going to point for a second. I saw David Price. I've never seen David Price talk so eloquently and was so able to articulate his views on how he felt about Cash Ali. He swore at Cash Ali. David Price. Oh, Price has come of age with his mouth. If the way he spoke with his mouth is, translates to how he's going to use his fists on Saturday night. Damn, I like the new version of David Price. All good. But why can't they, everyone apart from the top of the bill, William Smith and Sam Eggington, everyone else seems to have a problem. Everyone else in that bill seems to not like one another. What's going on in society? What is happening with these boxers? Anyway, back to my point. So, the future. The question is now, will this lady be blackballed? Will boxers say, you know what? I don't want her anywhere near me. Or, well, what happens to Kubrat Pulev make boxers more aware? You know? There already is talks and rumbles about certain reporters, female reporters, and how they do certain interviews and all this and that. But this here, if they do the right things and they go about the right things, Kubrat Pulev's going to be in a lot of trouble. A, B, there'll be the Pulev Act or the Sushi Act, which will be, how professionals should conduct themselves. But it's the future and the outcome of this. What are they going to do? They're going to would they ban Pulev? Technically, was an incident that happened outside the ring, but that also would be considered sexual assault. So his advances were not requested, required, wanted. So his advances were not. What kind of trouble? What do you think they should do to him? Well, I don't know because I don't know the full story. All I've got is a snapshot of him kissing her. I knew nothing about that picture of Kubrat Pulev and the reporter. Didn't know anything about that picture. And I only heard about this Gloria Alfred, who's an attorney, being brought on to fight the case. So, I don't know. See, these bees want an easy payday. Go get a normal 9-to-5 job like anyone else. Well, you see now, Shoaib, I know you say that, but that doesn't help. That doesn't help things in terms of trying to encourage more female reporters in the sport of boxing. That doesn't help matters. Because let's turn it another way. If that was your daughter that happened to, would you be telling her to get a 9-to-5 job? It's just, to me, I wouldn't want to see any female, let alone my daughter, being involved in something like this. Basically, seen somebody be sexually harassed and assaulted. Bro, Kovalev is due to appear in court after punching and breaking a woman's nose. How did that go for him? He fought the other week and became champion. Yeah, he's due to appear in court. Let's see what happens when the court deal with him. We'll see what happens. I mean, well, we know within our sport as it is, there is one rule for one person and another rule for somebody else. Canelo, with the whole PED situation, I said that because he's a golden goose, they'll change the rules to suit him. So there's no consistency. That's why at times our sport is an absolute joke. Our sport of boxing is a joke. You know, you've got people who are ranked in certain positions, jumping over people who are ranked higher and achieve more and should be number one contenders, but somehow getting fights. The whole sport has become an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Legends and their achievements being dismissed for. I mean, look, you tell me something. No disrespect to Marcus Maidana, and I'm going off topic here. No disrespect to Marcus Maidana, who was a good fighter, not a pound for pound great. But more people are interested in Marcus Maidana coming back to ring than, I don't know, most of Andre Ward's fights. And that may sound silly, but when you think about it, more people are interested in seeing Marcus Maidana come back to the ring. You know, I just, I don't get it. And Marcus Maidana is a good fighter, but he's a good fighter. He's more of a character than anything. The sport has become an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Vladimir Klitschko making a comeback now. Well, we talked about this on BWTM a long time ago. After Vladimir Klitschko got knocked out and we were in the hotel room, Vladimir Klitschko's hotel room, that same night, talking to Uncle Bashir. And he said then, I don't think Vladimir's finished with boxing. He kept telling me that Usyk was sparring with Klitschko. Klitschko now coming back into boxing to get X amount of money. To do what? And people will praise that. So for me, sport's a joke. So, in regards to this situation, what would they do with Kubrat Pulev? I don't know what they're going to do with Kubrat Pulev. What I'd like to see, based on what I've seen, that kiss, he shouldn't have had his hands on that woman, period. I don't care what his relationship with her is. Should be strictly professional. You should not be grabbing a woman's face and lipsing her up. You know, it's not like she came towards him and he kissed her. That was a mutual thing. He literally grabbed the woman's face and pulled the woman's face towards him. Like a real alpha male. He grabbed her face and pulled it towards. The sort of behaviour you would see at a nightclub. Like on a Saturday night. Let's see, you know, on Saturday night, people are completely drunk and it was just disgusting. Klitschko will come back. Yes, he will do. Is it the money or the limelight that brings him back? I think it's a bit of both. I think as a top athlete, what happens is these people have been working on adrenaline for years and the adulation of fans, and then suddenly they've gone from that to silence. They're no longer the champ. They're no longer getting, you know, having to diet and get their body into certain shapes. And there needs to be, in my opinion, there needs to be a program for boxers or athletes in general that they can move into like retired life and they can train their body down to being a civilian, to being just part of society. There needs to be that come down. But you spent all these years pumping your body up, all these years pushing you, get your adrenaline going, all these years dieting and getting your body into shape or losing weight and doing this and that, and then get yourself into professional battle and condition your mind and doing all these things, and then suddenly just stopping. Just like that. That's not right. There needs to be something in place, and maybe that's another discussion altogether, but there needs to be something in place for sports stars, professional sportsmen and women, that when they finish the sport, that they don't just jump off the the horse and just go into normal life. Maidana better not have finished that payday from Mayweather. Surely he ain't broke. Begin to wonder, don't you? Gina got all rich and fat. Yeah, I think he should be fined. But to his defense, she was too close to him. She's not completely innocent. Well, that's the question. You see, this is the thing, and we've got a line here between. Well, she wasn't that close to him, but does that mean because she's close to him, does it mean that you must kiss him? Well, listen. Okay, here's the example. I'll use myself as an example. When myself and Bermain Stavern were sitting literally side by side next to the bed, we were side by side. My shoulder was touching his shoulder. Does that mean because my shoulder was next to Stavern's shoulder that I should turn around and kiss him? I don't. That's not. There's no defense in it. He should not be putting his hands on her and kissing her. Absolutely not. I don't. Whatever they've got, whatever sort of stuff they're doing behind closed doors, that's their business. For him to come out and do what he did there is totally unacceptable. It's unprofessional. For first start, it's unprofessional. And secondly, you're violating somebody's like personal space, and all that. And the fact is, this stuff's on camera. And then you're asking a person to take it off camera. What the hell's that? You know you done wrong. I don't get what he was trying to achieve. So for me, you shouldn't have. First of all, you shouldn't be kissing her. She was rubbing his tits on her. She was rubbing her tits on his chest. Way different from professional appearance. She touched him first. Okay, she did, but because she did it, doesn't mean that Kubrat Pulev should have responded. He shouldn't have responded, even if she touched her first. Well, in that case, Kubrat Pulev should have been the professional, stepped back and said, "Sorry, there's a line here. You don't go over that line." But of course, you know you're a professional athlete. You've just finished boxing. Your adrenaline's high. I'm trying to think in my mind of an athlete now. Your adrenaline's high. Your testosterone's all over the place. You may have had sex for 4, 5, 6 weeks. I don't know Kubrat Pulev's life. And I'm not making excuses because I think what he did is still unacceptable. But he's had a rush of blood. He's feeling, people when you win a fight, you knock a guy out, you feel invincible. And then you've been interviewed. You've got this attractive woman in front of you, and then blood rushed to the head, and you've already been squeezing the woman's ass and doing all the rest of it. And then you feel she's coming in close proximity to you, so you feel you feel you should do the right thing. I don't know. I don't know. I just know what I saw and what he did, regardless of what she was doing, he should still not have kissed her. The lady never did boxing interviews before. No, she did. She has done boxing interviews before. I've seen her she's been around a while in America. She does a lot of interviews. So I know, I've seen her before. Seen her a lot before. In fact, I almost had her come on BWTMONLINE, actually. The lady never did any boxing interviews, asked for an interview, hugging him and flirting in another video before, staying in his personal space, teasing her lips, flirting. Yeah, it doesn't mean he can do it, but this is a defense to some extent. Gold digging, bitch. If it was done in a hotel behind closed doors, nobody would have a problem. These groupies are everywhere. It seems to me this controversy will raise his profile in the US. It will do. That's all good, but he was on camera. Beagles about Chris Gale, the cricketer, got into trouble doing something like this. He did. And I think he made a comment. He may even made a comment, or he was asking her out to dinner or something. He asked her out. And it will seem a bit, unprofessional. Get her on to comment on the incident. Adam Johnson, Kinderting, and let's not act like Michelle Joy Phelps doesn't do this on a daily. She looks a bit like Helen Yee. She does, actually. It might be Helen. You know what? It might be Helen Lee that Yee have been looking at. I have to go back and look at this woman again. So, yeah, I'm sure I've seen this woman before, though. The fact of the matter is this. Maybe I've confused her with Helen Yee, and if I have, that's not good. That's even worse. So, let me go back to who said this. That lady never did any boxing interviews before. Well, Larry Pine, if that's the case, asked for an interview, hugging him and flirting in another video before, staying in his personal space, teasing her lips, flirting. Well, I think What else could come from this as well? Helen Yu's professional. Yes, that's what I'm saying. What I do say about this is, again, the Pulev Act will. The other thing with the Pulev Act will be one. For me, the Pulev Act would say that certain codes of conduct, and it's quite funny because tonight I only just left a National Union of Journalists meeting in Brighton, and I just met a meeting. We've just finished a meeting with other journalists from coming from London and whatnot, talking about racism and talking about protests and various movements and all sorts of different things. But one of the key things we talked about at the National Union of Journalists tonight, we talked at NUJ, we talked about codes of conduct, how journalists go about conducting interviews, codes of conduct, and how, we also talked about interviewing certain groups, whether they, if they're far right groups, whether they should be getting TV time or not, whether they should be getting broadcasted or not. And if you broadcast them, should you be very robust in your questions? And how do you deal with them? Should you be giving them time? And if you do give them time, should they be getting broadcasting time? So yeah, Helen Yu also had an interview with Pulev. So Helen Yu did an interview her. What is to say that he didn't confuse her for Helen Yu after you did it? Yeah, Pulev will use the excuse of being concussed all the time. Mitigation of responsibility. He could, he could. Yes, I did see the Helen Yee interview, but Helen Yee is good. The fact of the matter is, there needs to be a code of conduct. Of all these people jumping around doing interviews now, there's a code of conduct. There's a code of conduct that I have to conduct myself with, being part of the National Union of Journalists. There's a certain code of conduct, a certain way you have to behave yourself. Yes, the interview has hired a top lawyer. This is my point. I said they've hired a top lawyer. Now, this is the alternative view, is that Pulev's been set up. Just saying, because you were just looking for the opportunity for it to happen, and then it happened. Then you took the opportunity to, make a name for yourself. I really hope and sincerely hope that's not the case, because at first glance, it looks like he's assaulted her, and it still looks like he's assaulted her. So I don't know, people. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he assaulted her? Some would say, oh, well, she looked for it. She was teasing him, so she got what she deserved. Some would say that. I'm not of that belief. Why don't you make an interview with her and about her code of conduct? I think I should. Don't you think I should? I think I should make contact and find out her stance and things. I'll have to look up and see if I can do that. But I don't know if I need to know more. I need to see more about this. I need to see the pictures. And of course, if this goes to court, then as you're bringing up now to me about the Instagram, about the picture she posted with her and Pulev, and then her behavior before, suggestive behavior. Some of you suggested she had some suggestive behavior. She's a bit too close and personal. Bresican got GB says she was a bit too close and personal. If you did that to her, if you'd be angry, of course, that's what I said. If this was one of your relatives, if this was your sister or your daughter, and this had happened, you'd be kicking off. Some people, because it isn't attached to them, they just say, well, whatever, and they turn a blind eye. But like I've said, it's not acceptable. So I don't think it's acceptable. And what I would have done, if that was the case, I would have stepped back, and maybe I would have made a complaint about the interviewer's conduct. If that had been on Sky with Anna Woolhouse, imagine how big the story would be. Well, look, we had that situation with Andy Gray and what's his name? See, I can see his name, Richard Keys. It's only a bit of banter, and they'll talk about the female referee. Remember that bit of banter? But you know, I've spoken to a few women about it, and they didn't support her, and that's saying a lot. Wow, wow. Whatever out of this situation right here, I don't think, you see, when you start something like this, it'll take you down a road, I think. And I think that there's no way in this day and age she can just walk away from that now. What did my wife think about it? She hasn't seen it yet. I'm going to ask her to look at it. What I might do is do an actual special video on that and actually get her to sit down, watch the video, and hear her opinions of it. But we've got a flash shot of that particular video. Now, you've now given me, some of you, thank you so much tonight, have given me more about it. So I'm going to go and find out more information, see what's going on. So Pulev may have said, yeah, it was just a bit of banter between two friends. Pulev says they're friends. She's saying something different. She was at the after party. Stayed there, according to some of you guys, till 5 a.m. in the morning. Was that for her job? Did she stay there because her job wanted her to stay there? Or did she stay there to network with others? Did she stay there because she felt uncomfortable? Why did she stay there till 5 a.m. in the morning? That's what, I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know. But again, just by that clip there and the kiss, I need to go back and look at the video again. But just by the most important thing out of that for me is he kissed her. She can do a lawsuit and finesse for money. Yeah, can't blame her. It's opportunities come up. She didn't remove her pic with him until after her boss made a statement they start investigation. There you go. So we'll soon find out. But this situation will do one of three things, I think. The first thing is, I think people will be on their P's and Q's. See, check this out. What one reporter will let fly, another reporter won't let fly. So here's the situation. Consistency. You have one female reporter who's very flirtatious and will, laugh along with the banter just to get in with the guys. And she may be single, right? But she's just doing it to get her connections and kind of flirting and using what she's got to get where she needs to get to. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory term, I'm just saying, well, look, you're a beautiful woman. You're using your smile and your looks and your body, and you're using this stuff to get to where you need to get to. I'm not saying like sexually in the sense where you're sleeping with people, but you're using, you're a good looking woman. You're taking photographs of yourself on Instagram. People are seeing you. You look great. It's not always about the interview, but it's about the interviewer and all the stuff. And oh, look at my dress and look at me and look how great I look and look how sexy I look and all that stuff. You've got that situation there. And then you've got another situation where you've got a totally, in this other woman's mindset, totally professional. It's all about the guest, and they'll do the interview, and it's just about getting the interview and out. None of this banter stuff. None of this, I'm sexy, look at me, I'm so great, look at me. None of that stuff. They're completely professional. They might be married, seriously committed, or they have a different sort of vibe about them. You know the type, right? So it's consistency. So what is the line? What is the line of journalism or sports journalism? What is the line? Is there a fine line? If so, what is that line? This, I would call it the Pulev Act. This Pulev Act is going to change journalism, I think. They want to milk it. Ben Doughty asked Shannon Courtney if she had sex before fights during an interview. Wow. But hold on. If you ask Anthony Joshua that, or Lennox Lewis that, or somebody else that, that's totally acceptable. But now you've got an interview asking a female if she's having sex before. I don't know. That could be crossing a line. But then you could say, well, equal opportunities. If I'm going to ask a man who's boxing, I should ask a female the same question. So again, the line of consistency. What's the line of consistency? Oh, well, because she's female, I should ask her the question. But because it's male, I'll ask her the question. Oh, well, because it's female, we're not going to televise it. But because it's male, we're going to televise it. So was Ben right to ask the question? Some would say yes, some would say no. I mean, if Shannon turns around and says, you know what, you can ask me any question you want to ask me. I'm an open book. And she says that, then game on, you ask the questions. It really depends on what the conversation was behind, because Ben Doughty may have asked her, look, I know Ben, I've met Ben a few times, nice enough guy, and he might have said, look, is there anything that's off the you don't want me to talk about? It's just free reign. I can say what I've got to say to you. And then he may have asked the question, which may have caused uproar for some people, but she may just be saying those things. The conversation may be to people to get to know who she is. And it's like, you know what? You want to get to know my story? I'm going to tell you my story. And one of the questions, obviously Ben didn't just ask that question. Oh, do you have sex before a fight? I mean, if he asked that question by itself, then there's room to, maybe castrate Ben for what he said. But the fact that he's probably said it in a whole interview, and that was one of 8 to 10 questions, that adds more like sense behind it, right? So it's something we need to think about. Some of these reporters need to be extremely careful about conducting themselves properly in the media capacity. Yes, they do need to. Like I said, almost dislike. I was only a few hours ago. I was in Brighton talking about code of conduct with journalists. I can tell you half the people that are knocking about with video cameras and camcorders and mobile phones haven't got a clue. And there's got to be, I think, some form of rule, regulation, accreditation process as to how these people get in and the training they've got. And because then you'll have anybody and everybody doing interviews. One of the floaties, I know people have talked about Misha Joy Phelps quite a few times. If you go back and check my interview with Misha Joy Phelps, I thought I asked her quite a few questions about herself. I knew Misha Joy Phelps before she got into the boxing game. I remember talking to Misha Joy Phelps when she was like modeling swimwear, and we had the conversation via direct message. I said to her, look, she said, I'm thinking of giving boxing a go. I said, you should do. I think you do really good at it. And today we've got Misha Joy Phelps. So, I think, and she works hard at what she does. Okay. So I think Misha Joy Phelps, if she wasn't, she's a good looking lady. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people think, oh, she's a good looking lady, so she must be using her good looks to get where she is. If she wasn't such a good looking lady, I don't think some of the attention that Misha Joy Phelps wouldn't be where it is. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, there needs to be consistency as to how a person goes about conducting interviews. What do you think of Ty and Booth, Ingram? I think Ty and Booth is what they call freedom of speech, and I think that there's an audience for Ty and Booth, clearly, because the views are there. And I mean, Ty and Booth does make at times some very good points. Look, does make some very good points. There's some things I think, you know what, is a time booth at times makes comments that you think in the back of your mind, or they're in your mind, but you don't really want to speak them out. He just speaks them out. So, you know, yeah, some people like time booth. Some people hate people just to hate people. But he's doing what he does. It's a form of release for him. And listen, it's better he let that all out and kept it inside. So we all want to talk about mental health, but one of the things with mental health is that if we keep these things inside, it'll do our heads in. So I think it's great that he's doing what he's doing. That's his channel, and it's the Time Booth channel, and he's doing what he's doing. Great. Really didn't know you had an interview with her. Is it on this channel? I think it might be on the BWTM Sports. Just type in Misha Joy Phelps, BWTM Sports, and we did an interview. Talked about like skin. She talked about how she gets lots of spots in her skin. She talked about how she got into the industry and some of the misconceptions about it. A really, really good interview. Really good. Liked it. He calls Wingy Boxing to stop reporting because of the personal attacks. He calls what caused? What? He made Wingy stop reporting? How so? Russell, aka Big Porty, you've had on your channel before, is very straight. Well, most people on the channel are straight talkers because that's what the channel is about. It's a forum, it's a channel, it's a network where people come and speak their truth, not just in sport, entertainment, politics. It's on the channel. It's about people speaking their truth. So yeah, I'm all for that. Ty Booth is Jermaine Pennant's cousin. Defoe's my cousin. So Ty Booth, straight slander. Well, the other thing about this, we also talked about this tonight. Time was calling Wingy a black nerd and posting that picture of Wingy's wife. I don't know about all that stuff. I didn't see that, unfortunately. Look, at the end of the day, like I said before, there's a code of conduct with everything, you know. I didn't see. I don't know anything about it. That shows you how much I actually get involved in the industry in a certain way. I try not to get what's involved. I've heard people say this and that about me previously. I don't get involved. I do my work and that's it. So yeah, I've been slandered before as well. A lot of untrue, a lot of garbage has been said about me, but I don't even respond to it. I don't respond to it. So like I said, I don't know what Tyne said. I don't know why he said it. I don't know how it's none of my business, frankly. So, but what I will say is this, coming back to my point, there needs to be a, like I said, when I was at National Union of Journalists tonight, we talked about codes of conduct for journalism. And this is just at the branch that I'm at. There needs to be a code of conduct for any and every single media outlet that's out there, because I'll tell you what's going to happen. We talked about it tonight. It's only a matter of time before somebody's done for slander and liable. It's coming. It's coming. Because you can't, there are rules and regulations. And if you go against a legal, you start talking slanderously, you start doing things, eventually somebody's going to you'll be getting legal letter through your door. So yeah. Terence Crawford wants a word with Time Booth, LOL. So it's only a matter of time. I believe that this is car watch is just as bad. Yeah, we could go on. We could go on and on and on. So there needs to be some form of code of conduct. We talk about mental health. We talk about mental health. but these sort of actions and behaviors can cause mental health issues, depression, and suicidal thoughts. It's not on. With his commentary towards fighters retiring, saying he will ice them, ridiculous. Well, he's going back. He has got. Some of Froch's point is valid. I mean, he believes in himself. No boxer is going to say he would have beat me. The only fight I've seen say that, with all honesty, is Mike Tyson about Muhammad Ali. Mike has got so much adulation and so much respect for Ali. It's unbelievable. I don't know how many boxers today have that sort of respect and reverence for fighter. It's the fight with Dave Allen this weekend. I don't know if he'll beat Lucas Brown this weekend. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. But if he fights with his face the way he keeps fighting with his face, it's not this weekend. If he fights with his face, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think Brown will ice him. Well, if he fights with his face the way he's been fighting with his face, you can't keep taking them big shots. And Brown can punch. He can really punch. Cash Ali getting paid $7.5 apparently. Well, I hope he can back his talk, or else he'll be looking up at the lights against Price. I don't think it's overboard about Froch. I don't. I just think that is just how he is, to be honest. Yeah. So before I finish, yeah, I don't know much about. I'm going to look into it, but I know that Uncle Bashir wanted Cash Ali to fight Serenko. Let me just give you this before I go. If you haven't already, get yourself over to BWTMOnline.com. You'll see all the stuff that we're doing: sports, entertainment, news, foreign affairs, a lot. Allen was terrible last time. I think Brown was bad last fight on purpose to have Allen feeling overconfident. Oh, Lucas Brown didn't look great against Sokolowski. A lot of people said Sokolowski beat him, and then he didn't look great against Dillian White either. So I heard rumours. How true those rumours are that Chisora dropped him and beat him up in sparring as well. So I don't know how he was out of shape, Lucas Brown. So I don't know. So yeah, when you get a chance, get yourself over to www.bwtmonline.com. Right, I finished talking. But as for Kubrat Pulev, I don't know how far this investigation will go. I don't know how far it will go. But where there's money to be made and there's an opportunity, it certainly will go further. Whether this woman, this sports reporter, is Jennifer, is innocent in the sense that she didn't lead Kubrat Pulev on, remains to be seen. Pulev missed up, but it's blown out of proportion. Really? What? I don't understand. What is blown out of proportion? The man grabbed the woman's face and kissed her on the lips. That is assault. And just think this for 1 second. Anybody's condoning this behavior should just settle out of court and let it die a natural death, really? Like Jimmy Savile, right? When he was molesting that woman that was on top of the pops. And nobody did anything about it. And then when Savile's dead, everyone's caused a complete uproar about it. It's unacceptable, son. It's not cool. It's unacceptable. And as I said before, it's all well and good saying that. But if that was a member of your family, if that was your wife doing that interview, if that was your daughter doing that interview, or was that was your sister doing that interview, if that was your best mate doing that interview, and Kubrat Pulev did it to them, you'd be saying something different. So I don't. So let's keep it real here. So what do I recommend? Do you know what I recommend? I recommend that there is a code of conduct for all reporters, male and female. That there's no favoritism. I don't care if you're male or female. There's a line. If you go over that line, you should not be allowed to report. That's what needs that's what needs to be done. Listen, that is called assault. That's assault, right? And let's put it this way. What would Kubrat Pulev have done? Next thing you ask yourself is, how far would that have gone? And is that the first time that's happened? And how many other women has he done that to? How many other women has he kissed like that and then told to shut the camera off on them? In Bulgaria, where he has power in Bulgaria. I imagine it will be tried in Bulgaria, which is a sketchy country regarding corruption. I don't think Pulev will do jail time. Yeah? I just think, to me, that you start to ask yourself other questions. I always look for people and patterns. And I ask myself the question of Kubrat Pulev. The next thing, these are darker questions. Well, has he done this before? Has he done this with other female journalists before? Are we going to get a Me Too movement? As soon as this woman, Jennifer, stands up, are there other women in Bulgaria going to start coming out to go, well, Kubrat Pulev did this to me, and Kubrat Pulev did that to me? And you get 20 or 30 Bulgarian women coming out saying, Kubrat Pulev assaulted me. We just don't know. We just don't know. But I, yes, this needs to go to court. But to me, there needs to be a code of conduct. Call it the Sushi Act, the Pulev Act, whatever the act's going to be. That there is a line for male and female journalists alike that they have to abide by. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care how handsome you are. I don't care how good looking you are. It does not mean you have to go over the professional lines. I just don't. I mean, I also think, in my personal opinion, and this is my personal opinion, I think that certain interviews, now you want to show that you have a good connection with someone, but when is that misconstrued? When you're sitting on a couch with a man or sitting on a man's bed, conducting an interview, is that professional? Is that drawing where's the line drawn there? If I did an interview with, let's give you example, I did an interview with Cecilia Brækhus, and Cecilia Brækhus was laying on her bed, and I was sitting down on a chair, and I was doing an interview, and the camera's there, and I'm interviewing Cecilia Brækhus. People would ask the question, what the hell are you doing in a bedroom interviewing Cecilia Brækhus on a bed? You see, so I think there needs to be professionalism in what happens. Okay, there needs to be professional in what happens. And in terms of this situation, if the lady was leading on, why was she doing it in the first place? Why was her behavior in such a fashion? So there's lots of other things that need to be put in place. No, sushi, meaning that's what I think that's the name of the organization or something. They call it sushi. So I'm not being funny. That's what either the organization she works for or whatever it is. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's not being funny. I agree with your recommendation. My point is that going to court and stuff is just dragging it out more. There are more serious cases that deserve proper attention. Now, this is a case of assault. It's assault. I don't think that crime should be put into categories of this or that. To me, it's a priority. That is assault. It needs to be dealt with, and they shouldn't need to be too much into it. He should be penalised by the commission. She should get some compensation, and there should be rules for interviews. WRT special space. I agree. Can't call it Sushi Act because she's Asian. Jesus, Ingram Savage. Yeah, I think, well, okay, then I called it the Pulev Act. So yeah, the Pulev Act. That's why I used the Pulev Act first. But I do believe, and I'll say it again, a code of conduct There you go. Sushi, S-U-S-H-E. Thank you very much. There needs to be a code of conduct for anybody who's doing interviews. And I don't believe, in my opinion, I think there needs to be, where possible, there needs to be lines drawn as to where interviews are conducted, how they're conducted, the styles they're conducted, and even there's expression, even the appearance. Keep away from even the appearance of evil, that people can misinterpret your interviewing style. That it's all professional. It's all above board. The people I think, I wonder what's going on between those two, or look at the way those two are laying sitting together, or why is she laying on his bed like that, or why has he got his arm around her like that, and all that sort of stuff. I think all these things need to really be given a serious look at, because that way it protects the journalist, the reporter, and the athlete. And I'll leave it as that. That's my personal opinion. Prevention is always better than cure. And you put these rules in place, it then protects both the athlete and the interview. You can have good relations with people, you can be friends with people, but the bottom line is this: certain lines should not be crossed. If she was being flirtatious, that should not have been allowed. And what Kubrat Pulev did should not be allowed. You should be keeping your damn hands to yourself. You should not be squeezing people's buttocks and forcibly kissing them. Again, it leaves the question as to why and how much. Helen Lee was very close to Wilder the other day, but she seemed more consensual. Yeah, we've seen Wilder's girlfriend. I don't think it was that consensual. Okay, again, there needs to be lines drawn. There needs to be lines drawn. And the other thing is, I'll only do an interview with you if you. I'll only do an interview if you. Oh yeah, I'll allow her to do an interview with me because she. Nothing to do with their professionalism. That is a problem. People, they were too close, like touching each other, even before the actual interview. The whole thing was unprofessional. I blame them both, to be honest. Well, there we go. That I have not seen all of it. I just saw the kiss. But like I said, there needs to be rules in place, and unprofessionalism from both of them, if that's the case. And there needs to be rules in place for every journalist and media person who's got. Everyone picks up a camera, they need to be following rules and regulations. It's not about just getting views, it's about code of conduct. And some people need to have codes of conduct because they've got no moral, ethical, or they will do it for views, or I want my name in lights, or I want more opportunities. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do something a bit risque here, let me do something a bit risque there. And each time you do that, for you, a female, you're doing that, and you're giggling and you're laughing, you're flirting, you're bantering, because the next female that comes through the door might be totally professional in what they do, and they end up getting punished or blacklisted because they're not playing game, they're not playing ball, they're not flirting, they're not looking at you and touching you and holding and feeding you in a certain way and feeding your ego. And because of someone's unprofessional behavior, another female comes in and does professional things and is not treated the same way, not given the same interviews, not given the same warmth. So there is a lot to talk about here. And actually, I do hope that this sets up the protection of both the athlete, and the media outlet, and the reporter. That's it for myself. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments as always. And if it's a dislike you put on the video, explain why you put the dislike. Don't just do the dislike, so we can learn from that as well. I hope you've learned a bit from this, and I've learned a lot from you guys as well. I will try and find out more information about this interview and do some more digging. That's it from us at BWTM. Again, as always, thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and of course, like. We're out. Take care.